Amnesty International Nigeria has launched a new report on Nigeria alleging widespread human rights violations by the military of women and girls who have escaped Boko Haram captivity in the communities where the military reside. The report says dozens of women and girls have been unlawfully detained and abused in detention facilities owned by the military, and thousands of infants losing their lives under the circumstance.
Well, this report highlights, the plight of young girls and women who were abducted, and after abduction, they also found themselves in custody of the military. They went through double hell, I can call it, because they suffered in the hands of Boko Haram. They also suffered in the hands of the military. The failure of the Nigerian authorities is the reason why we even have Boko Haram, is the reason why we have people displaced, is the reason why Boko Haram was capable of going into homes and abducting young girls as young as 8, 9, and subjecting them to sexual slavery and subjecting them to sexual exploitation and hard labor. And they were forcing them to watch decapitation, to watch amputations, and many other atrocities. Our recommendation is that government should do something and rescue these girls. Provide their demands, provide them with all the support they need to reintegrate back into the society.
The Nigerian military has referred to our sources as intrinsically unreliable. As you can tell, our sources were primarily survivors. They speak from their own experiences and they are experts on what they went through. Calling them intrinsically unreliable shows a lack of respect that the Nigerian military seems to have for these Boko Haram survivors. In the report and during this press conference, we refer to these survivors with scrambled initials, and this is to protect their identities. So an enormous number of girls have been abducted by Boko Haram throughout the years. Many of them were forced into marriage and trafficked, and then subjected to years of sexual violence, ranging anywhere from a few days to actually 10 years. 31 survivors who Amnesty International interviewed experienced further abuse and prolonged detention and unlawful detention in military barracks, though this practice has reduced in recent years. Unique to girls' and young women's experience in prolonged unlawful detention was being detained with the babies and the children that they gave birth to during their captivity. Witnessing children die in detention and being subjected to certain insults by soldiers and members of the Civilian Joint Task Force, calling them Boko Haram wives and accusing them of killing people.
A lot of these young women, they were not only abducted in a peaceful manner, but in a very brutal and forceful manner, and forced into illegitimate and illegal so-called marriage. And as a result of that, a lot of them, like you rightly heard, who tried to resist this post-marriage were killed. Many of them maltreated, brutalized. So Amnesty International decided to once again remind the authorities and the Nigerian people about this inhuman situation, brutal, violent violation of our girls and women's rights that have been going on over years, and yet we have been told that Boko Haram has been defeated, and these atrocities have not yet stopped, and nobody has been brought to book. You recall that up to now, many young girls that have been abducted from secondary schools are still in captivity. No much effort by a politician. Our political class, they are not interested because they are not their children. If they are their children, by now they should have made necessary effort to ensure that these girls are released safely. But it's like it's normal. And yet they can even go to those places and do campaign during election. But it is difficult to control them. It is difficult to rescue these innocent young women, whom many of them die as a result of this, unnecessary pregnancy, because their age is not even matured enough to have babies. all these are going on, and the country appears to be keeping quiet.